Should you cross list? Let's look at it. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to look at your numbers to decide if cross listing is what's right for you. I'm going to do it in a spreadsheet. If y'all know me, you know that's where I'm going with this. So we're going to be looking at the time that it takes and associating an hourly rate with it. And if your hourly rate can be bigger somewhere else, more sourcing, more listing, more knowledge in one platform, then it's not right for you. So we're going to break it down. This is going to be for one platform, but you can do the same analysis and just group it all together, or you can do multiple different ones and figure out which platform probably is worth it for you and which platform isn't worth it for you. So let's get into it. When I say time in minutes, I want you to 5 different times, time yourself cross-listing. Time yourself doing the process. How long does it actually take you? So do it for, maybe 30 minutes or do 10 listings. Take the average of that, how many it takes you to cross-list per listing, right? So this is every item that you cross-list, how long does it take you? Do this 5 times, get an average, and this is going to be your cross-listing time. I'm going to have you do the same thing for delisting, right? If it sells somewhere, how long does it take you to delist? And that could be, you go in and manually take it off, you log into VENDOO or List Perfectly. I use List Perfectly, and you take it off, but do it 5 different times and figure out how long it takes you per item to do these different tasks. For me, I just made up numbers. Actually, that's a lie. I've done an analysis, and because I pay a virtual assistant, it's worth it for me to be on Poshmark. It's not worth it for me to be on anywhere else. I've done an analysis. I will link the video up above for me. But I want to show you, because this is one of the questions that I get so much. And it's going to depend on everybody. It's going to depend on your numbers, your processes, what all of this is. And then I want you to go in and how many items on average are you listing a month? Let's say it's 300. Let's say it's 300. How many items are being sold a month? So how many times are you cross-listing? You're cross-listing 300 items. If you're doing it for multiple, so for right now, this is one platform. Let's say you're taking it from eBay to Poshmark, and it takes you 1.5 minutes. If you are saying I cross-list on 6 platforms, you can do on average 1 item, cross-list on 6 platforms, do that 5 times, and see how long on average it takes you to list on all 6 platforms. And then do it as well as delisting. If you sell it on one platform and you're delisting it manually, it's going to take you a while. If you keep everything in VENDOO or List Perfectly, that's probably going to be a little bit quicker. It could be a way for you to say, hey, baby, I should keep it in because it is going to be quicker. So how many items a month on average are you listing? Let's say 300. How many items a month are you selling? How many items are you going in and having to take off of each platform? And this is going to tell you the amount of time that you are spending in hours cross-listing. So what you're going to do, and I'll show you the formula up here. Let me highlight it so we can really see what's happening. You're going to take your cross-listing time how many items that you're listing, so how much time you're spending cross-listing to all these different platforms, how much time you are spending taking items off of these different platforms, and then you're going to divide that by 60, just so we have a nice pretty number that is going to be in hours. So based off of this scenario, you are spending 9.5 hours cross-listing. Now this may be worth your time. Absolutely. And we're going to get into the hourly rate in a minute. But this is something I talk a lot about in my course, which is linked down below for purchase. Or if you become a YouTube member, you have free access. You get it for free along with some other downloadables and the dashboard at a discount and lots of different stuff. But there's in the membership, and you can see that on my channel with YouTube membership. But I talk a lot about this in my course. What is your time worth? And this is one of the things. Is cross-listing, is spending your time putting it on different platforms actually worth your time? And let's figure that out. There is something else to consider as well, and I'm going to mention this right now before we get too far into it, because I don't want to forget about it. Is it worth your time? Can you make more money doing something else? So we're going to figure out what your hourly rate is going to be, and that's only a decision that you can make. Do you make more money? Do a scenario like this for how much you make listing, how much you make sourcing, how much you make for taking photos, all of these different things. Figure out your hourly rate and then figure out how to make more money with what you make the most hourly rate at. This is in my course. I go deep into it and teach you how to figure that out. But something that cannot be quantified is your time. So if you don't have inventory, if you don't have time to source, and you're wanting to make the most out of the inventory that you do have, and you have 9.5 hours to sit at home in the evening when the stores are closed to cross list, you will make more money doing that, right? Regardless of, because you just can't be outsourcing, right? So that is something to be mindful. Right now we're looking quantitatively at what this means. And then I want you to look at your monthly platform profit. So take out your shipping and fees. If you're only considering one platform, just do that. If you are looking at all of the different platforms, add them all together, take out your shipping and fees, and see what that actually is. If you want to do, and I would recommend if you're on multiple platforms, doing it all together to see if it's worth it, but then breaking it down, because my guess is many platforms that you're doing, you may have 3 or 4 over here. If you're doing all 15 of them and you're only making $200 in sales, is it really worth it or not? I'm making all these numbers up to be just full disclosure, let you know. So let's say you make $450 selling on this other platform and it takes you this much time to do it. And then you have your expenses. So if you pay for List Perfectly, right, that is an expense that is costing you to cross post. You have to take that out because you're not making that money. You are paying that to cross post. If you pay a VA, I added in, in theory, what it would cost my VA for me to pay VA to do all of this. If you're paying someone to cross list for you or to manage that for you, all of those expenses, anything else that would come in, I can really only think of cross-listing software, but anything else that you're having to pay for to be able to cross list. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take the difference in that. So let me show you the formula. Just the 450 minus the 149, that is going to be your profit. In all of this time that you're spending, you're making $301. Like I said, I'm making these numbers up. I would be interested to hear what your guys's are. And then you divide that. So you take your profit, so I have B10, my profit, divided by the time spent to do it. It's $31 an hour. Figure out what your time is worth. Is your time worth $31 an hour? Do this for all of the platforms that you sell on. And you may say, hey, this platform's only making me $2 an hour. I'm going to stop it. Yes, I'm making some money, but I could be spending that time better spent. If you guys liked this video, let me know what you guys do and what your analysis is. I'm always interested in other people's numbers as well. But if you did like this video, YouTube also thinks you'd like this video. I will link a playlist down here of how to make money reselling. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to follow and learn how to make money reselling. And like I said, you can become a YouTube member if you want some more benefits and to learn and elevate your reselling business.